Well, for the latest, Wei Du is stationed at the Hong Kong International Airport this morning. And Wei, is there any word how authorities plan to deal with the protesters returning to the airport this afternoon after what happened on Monday?
It is unclear how they plan to handle that situation. A lot had to do with how many people indeed turn up and if they can continue a peaceful protest. And that has been the situation so far. That's one big reason why the airport authority has not called in police. It's been using its own security guards to keep order here at the airport. Now, yesterday, though, the shutdown of the airport was absolutely unprecedented here in Hong Kong. Altogether, 180 flights were cancelled. So as a result, tens of thousands of passengers were stranded in Hong Kong. From 6 o'clock this morning, the airport opened as normal. So lots of passengers are coming in. You can see them behind me. They're still implementing air ticket and travel document check at the departure hall that essentially expands the prohibited area. So people without a valid air ticket couldn't go up to the check-in counter. But if we look at the big board, you're still seeing lots of red, lots of flight cancellations. That's because lots of flights couldn't come in yesterday, so they couldn't go back out this morning. That's because the planes and crew currently are out of position. So today, the Hong Kong airport, as well as the airlines, will take some time to sort out this issue, reschedule some flights. In some cases, the airlines will have to fly in bigger planes to take all these stranded passengers out. So it's still a work in progress here at the Hong Kong airport. And to think that protesters are potentially coming back in droves this afternoon, certainly it's a worry for the airport authority and for inbound and outbound passengers here in Hong Kong.
Yeah, Wei, you just briefly mentioned that airport authorities are intending to reschedule the flights today. What more do you know about those plans?
Well, we know 180 flights were canceled yesterday for Cathay Pacific alone. Today and yesterday combined, it had to cancel 100 flights, even though this is the home base for Cathay Pacific. So it's actually slightly easier for them to sort out that issue. That said, though, they do have crew members stranded in cities where they were not supposed to be. Right now, it looks the airport is really getting busy once again. That question about at which point airport authority would have to call in police to try to disperse the crowd, that question was repeatedly posed to the police yesterday, especially by local reporters who were really angered by the fact that the police were using tear gas at an MTR station the day before. Now, the police says right now it has no such plans. It does not use tear gas and rubber bullets on peaceful protesters. So that's a very, very important point. They're peaceful protesters, but they wouldn't rule out any action, any use of force if the situation becomes violent. Julie.
And Wei, what other actions are the protesters planning today as Beijing and the police have sort of toughened their stance on the protesters or have they eroded their resolve, so to speak?
There are many types of different protests here in Hong Kong. The one at the airport, it's unauthorized, but it's been largely peaceful. So you see people from all walks of life taking part. These well-telegraphed events tend to be as such. And there are two, as far as we know, there are two sit-ins at two public hospitals by doctors who also say they're angered by the police's use of force on protesters. Earlier this morning, there was a plan for some radical protesters to get into MTR stations, that's Hong Kong's subway system, and hold open the train doors in order to disrupt the early morning commute. The last we heard, that plan has been cancelled. We should say because of this hit and run or be water strategy of the protesters, there's lots of smoke and mirror. It's really hard to pin down what precisely will happen later today.